The desert wind howled like a wounded beast, carving shifting mountains out of the sand. Yet inside his humble cell, the monk sat as still as the stone walls surrounding him, completely unaware that his simple act of kindness was about to change the way he saw the world forever.
In the vast, unforgiving expanse of the Skeetus Desert, where the sun scoured the earth and silence was the only companion, lived a man whose soul was as boundless as the horizon. Pishoy was not a man of loud proclamations or grand ambitions. He was a man of the earth and the spirit, known among the brotherhood not for his debates, but for the profound, quiet radiance that seemed to follow him like a shadow. His life was a testament to the idea that greatness is not found in the spotlight, but in the hidden corners of service.
Bishoy had come to the desert in his youth, drawn by the call of the eternal. He spent his days in manual labor, weaving ropes from palm leaves, and his nights in the labor of the heart, an unceasing prayer that turned his breath into a rhythmic connection with the divine. The monks who lived near him often spoke of his extraordinary endurance. It was said that he would tie his hair to the roof of his cell during long vigils, ensuring that if his body succumbed to exhaustion and he began to slump, the sharp tug would awaken him to continue his devotion.
But his true reputation was built on his heart. While others wrestled with demons of pride or anger, Pishoy seemed to have unlocked the secret of divine charity. He viewed every person he encountered, the weary traveler, the sickly brother, the arrogant initiate, as a reflection of the Creator.
One scorching afternoon, the air heavy with the scent of parched brush, a rumor swept through the monastic community. It was said that a man of great physical distress was struggling toward the settlement, having collapsed several miles out. Without hesitation, Pishoy set out. He found the man, an elderly stranger whose limbs were withered and whose clothes were mere rags. The heat was lethal. The desert sun offered no mercy. Instead of asking for the man's name or his journey's origin, Pishoy hoisted the stranger onto his back. The weight was immense, and the walk back to the monastery was a grueling journey of hours. Every step was a prayer. Every drop of sweat was an offering. When they finally reached his cell, Pishoy gently laid the man down, offering him his own meager ration of water and bread.
As the sun began to dip below the dunes, painting the sky in violent shades of violet and gold, a transformation occurred. The rags the stranger wore seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly light, and the weariness in his face dissolved into a majesty that made the very atmosphere tremble. The cell was no longer a small stone room. It felt as though it had expanded into the infinite.
Bishoy fell to his knees, not in fear, but in overwhelming recognition. He realized that in his desperate attempt to save a suffering soul, he had been serving the creator of the universe himself. The presence spoke, not in words that vibrated the air, but in a language that resonated directly within the soul. A message of love that bypassed the intellect and settled deep into the marrow of his being.
From that day on, Pishoy's service became even more fervent. He understood now that the stranger was in everyone. He became a father to the community, a man who saw the divine spark in the discarded and the broken. He famously began to wash the feet of those who came to him, not as a ritual, but as a genuine act of reverence. He treated everyone as if they were royalty, and in doing so, he
He turned his small corner of the desert into a sanctuary of transformation. As he aged, his body grew frail, but his spirit only sharpened. When political upheavals and raids threatened the peace of the desert, he became a pillar of stability. He didn't lead armies. He led by example. When forced to flee, he carried the legacy of the Desert Fathers with him, ensuring that the wisdom of stillness and love would survive the storms of the world.
When the time finally came for his departure from this life, the desert wept with the brotherhood. It is said that at his death, the air grew incredibly sweet, and those present felt a profound sense of peace, as if the desert itself was bowing in honor of its greatest son.
Today, the story of Saint Bishoy remains a lighthouse in the dark. It is a reminder that in a world obsessed with visibility and success, the most profound power lies in the unseen service we offer to others. He teaches us that we do not need to journey to a literal desert to find the divine. We only need to look at the person standing before us, to offer them the cup of water, to carry their burden, and to serve them as if we were serving the very source of life itself. Pishoy did not set out to be a saint. He set out to be a servant. And in that simple, humble ambition, he found that he had accidentally touched the hem of eternity. His life stands as a challenge to every generation. To stop, to look, and to see the beauty in the broken. For in that act of seeing, we are the ones who truly become whole.